is Oromo Voice Radio English program. Oromo Voice Radio is broadcasting to Oromia at 16-meter band or 17,850 kilohertz or on oromovoice.org website. OVR broadcasts Oromia Insight program every Monday for 15 minutes at 7:15 p.m. Oromia local time. Welcome to Oromia Insight program.
Welcome to Oromia Insight. My name is Ali Galato. Our guest today is Awol Windissa with me to tell us about briefing by U.S Congress on 19 April 2016. Awol Windissa is current public relation of Oromo community of Minnesota, USA. Welcome, Awol.
It is my pleasure, Ali.
Why Oromo has been protesting the last 5 months?
Oromo people have been protesting for so many years, for a century, since it was conquered by the Abyssinians rulers, by previous Ethiopian regimes, and the previous Ethiopian regimes, they just did a lot of damage to Oromo people. They did the damage in terms of culture, they did the damage in terms of economy, they did the damage in terms of societal and so many ways. And during those times, the Oromo, his identity is just taken, and it is culture, it is everything, way of living was taken. Again, the current Ethiopian regime is just not only disfranchising the society or any other communities in Ethiopia, but more just taking away the resource. It is just taking away the land. It is taking away the land in so many ways. For instance, they just, came up with this system of Addis Ababa master plan. So the master plan will just divide it up, the existing map of Oromia into east and west, which means that it is a way of just dividing Oromo and creating two Oromos. It's a way of just, making the Oromo's language, culture, norms, trends, and all those things not to exist in Addis and also in the surrounding cities, districts, and all over Oromia in the long run. So those are the factors, and those are some of the things, those are some of the reasons. In addition to that, the current way of approaching to Oromo's resource, like the forest, to the lakes, to the, schools and the different public utilities in the public place. It is, by name of this investment, by name of, just giving the land to the private investors, foreign investors. So what they are doing technically is they just they bring somebody from outside of the country by just, having the name of the person, whoever that company is. The current Ethiopian regime, the Wayane regime, elite, they are just taking those resources for themselves, for their family. More importantly, the ruling elite, the Wayane government, is just interested in only two things, which is the power and the economy. They just want to be a powerhouse and the economic hub in the region of East Africa and beyond. So the people, the students, especially the brave Oromo students, east to west in all universities across Oromia and the country, they just understood this formula, this tactics, this move of Wayane. So they just start saying no. They just start, we have to say no and demonstrate peacefully, and we have to tell our people their rights, their resource, their identity, their humanity is just bribed and just betraying. Again, the all things here is like the Wayane regime is just a clash of civilization, not only to Oromo, but only to the humanity in that area and beyond. So those are all the collective grievance and the factors which makes our people to protest. Recently, as everybody knows, for the last 5 months, the Oromo people has been continuously day and night protesting against this regime, and that is so far more than 500 or so people were died, killed, thousands arrested, thousands, displaced and evicted. So, which means that they are just totally dismantled how the Oromo lives, how the Oromo just do their things, So all those things happen because of their, our resource, and our people are just protesting to say no to the regime and to just show they are the people who own that country, and they just want the government, they just want the policy, they just want the system which serves their interest, not the system which serves the few and makes the few millionaires or billionaires in that country. So we are under the people back home in Oromia and everywhere in Ethiopia. They are against this regime and against this policy and against this tactic, and that's why people are protesting.
What is the role of Oromo community in Minnesota on Oromo protest?
Well, our role is just as any other community or Oromo or any other, mostly the Oromo community of Minnesota's role on Oromo protest is very clear and clear. It is like any other Oromo communities in diaspora. We are, in solidarity with Oromo protest back home in Oromia. We've been protesting, especially since 2014. There is a lot of protests going on. There is a lot of, solidarity movement. There is a lot of meetings. There is a lot of occasions and events happening in Minnesota, which we call it Twin City. And again, we call Minnesota Little Oromia because we have like 40,000 or above population here, out of Oromia. So all this together, we are just helping. We are just, loudly, become a voice of our people. We are just in solidarity not only by protesting for what they are protesting, by doing the lobby, by doing different advocacy, by just, selling their idea. Our people are dying, arresting, and all those things happening because of this, what I mentioned about earlier. So that's why we are just taking the collective role as a majority or the big number of Oromo people, outside of Oromia in Minnesota, and we are just taking that role, and we are just, in solidarity against the TPLF regime.
There is a briefing by U.S. Congress on 19 April 2016. What is their briefing and why now?
Well, the briefing is they call it U.S. Congress Land Trust Commission Human Rights Briefing on Ethiopia, focusing on Oromo. This briefing is just happened because, especially for the last 5 months, as we are speaking, there is an ongoing protest and so many things, so many human rights violations, and so many human rights crackdown, and so many, atrocities has been going on and happening on our people, and we are not just sitting, only protesting. So we have to change our way of doing things from protest to some other technique. We are from protest and the slogans and all those things to, some other way of approaching the enemy, approaching the system, approaching the rule, approaching the elite. So it is the American government, it is American congressman, it is American, Obama administration, which is working as an ally, as a strategic ally with the Ethiopian government. And we have to approach the American government, and we have to approach the American lawmakers, and we have to approach the American human rights defenders and the human rights community in the mainstream community. Tell them this is Oromo. Tell them this is the source of Oromo. Tell them how this amount of Oromo, this number of Oromo, this Oromo kids, farmers, children, they are dying. Our forest is just, burning. Our lakes and, all everything is just getting polluted. And our people are just dying for so many reasons and for so many diseases. And for, they just say it is a famine, which is not a famine. Famine itself, we consider it is, lack of a good governance in that regime, in that country. So all this together, it just, create an opportunity for us to get this upcoming briefing, which is through one of the U.S. congressman who is from Minnesota. His name is Kate Ellison. So it is the work of Oromo community of Minnesota, working very closely, very persistently, and very cohesively with the U.S. Congress, Kate Ellison, and he just, he is one of the executive members of the U.S. Congress Human Rights Commission. So he spoke with his colleagues, and he just, pursued his, members, and then we got the chance to get this briefing. So that's why the briefing is just coming up now, and that is just because of what is going on back on Oromia. So because of our brothers, our students, our people are dying back home, the American government is just sitting down and coming to us and listening to us and just getting an interest to speak with Oromos. So that's what it is now.
What is the objective of the briefing and who are invited?
Well, our objectives are very simple. One of the objectives is just to make our people understand how to lobby for our people, to make Oromos for Oromos, to make Oromo people in diaspora, mostly the people in USA, in North America, just come together and just, pass our collective voice to the U.S. government to change its policy, to change its allies, to get its relationship with the Ethiopian government. So the objective we'll see here is like to set the foundation for the upcoming work, the upcoming, especially we call it legislative diplomacy, we will have with the U.S. Congress and the U.S. have a Senate, and we will have with the U.S. government at large. So this briefing objective mainly to be seen as the first or the initial stage which will lead us to the next more stage which will come soon. Yeah, those are the main or the core objective we'll see from this briefing.
What Oromo community expect to achieve from this briefing?
Yeah, there are a lot of things which we'll achieve because, as I said, not only in Minnesota, the Oromos are coming from different states. The Oromos are coming from 30 or more states from USA, like Washington, D.C., from Colorado, from Chicago, from Seattle, Washington, Portland, California, Texas, so many places. So the people, every community organization, all the Oromo community organizations, those who are coming, we are coming for one reason, which is to be a voice for our people and to lobby and just advocate for our peoples, dying, arrest, and all those things. So what we'll achieve is just we'll achieve collectively, not individually, not as any community center. It is just as all the Oromo communities in North America. So what we'll achieve, yes, we'll pass our very strong and unified message to the U.S. Congress. We'll pass, we will pass our unified and one message to different stakeholders, to different U.S. office and departments. So, which means that we will learn how to do these things, and we will learn how to work together. We will learn how to just follow each other and follow one direction. We will learn how we will do a lot together, not separately, just together by coming from east to west, from different places, even within USA. We just live in different states, very far states, but by coming together to Washington, D.C. next week on Tuesday, so we will achieve a lot, and I think those achievements will, again, as the objectives I said before, it will take us to different levels, and it will be more interesting, yeah.
Finally, how people can participate?
So there are ways of participation. One, people are just coming and are going there, and they can participate in person. Two, people can participate by, tweeting, by Facebook, by, posting, sharing in all those social media. Still, people can, especially the scholars, the people who are academicians, they can participate by writing an article about, the similar scenario from East Africa, from the similar, human rights activism, about the legislative diplomacy, about the lobbying, about, how the people who come together for one purpose can change the policy, can, bring down this kind of very fascist government. So there is a lot of way to participate. Still, we can talk to our network. Still, we can pass this information to the media. Still, we can contribute, idea or moral support by writing an article. There is so many things, or there is so many ways. As the saying goes, if there is a way, there is a will. So, if there is a will, there is a way. So everybody who is interested can participate. Again, one thing I just want to add on here is like this upcoming briefing is not only about Oromo. It is just also about Ogaden. There is a lot of people in Ethiopia who are just the same thing are happening on them. There is a lot of Gambelas, A few days ago, there are a lot of atrocities and there's a lot of skirmishes happening in Gambela, Those all are just by Ethiopian government. They are just killing the Gambelas, the Nuer, the Anuak, and they are just, blackmailing, and they are just, saying it is the Southern Sudan, which is the tactic of Wayane, which is the tactic of TPLF. Everybody knows this. So we are just coming and are going to briefing with all this, the people from the south, from the central, from every corner of Ethiopia. So I think those are the things we are doing, and this is achievement, and this is unified message and unified solidarity movement we are doing. So again, by doing with different communities from Ethiopia, what Oromos are showing to the world and what we will achieve collectively is just we are telling the American government we are capable of leading Ethiopia. We are capable of just, working with you. We are capable of, making the stability to the Horn of Africa, not only to the Ethiopia, to the Horn of Africa. We have intellectuals, we have leaders, we have people, we have, all segments of the community or the society. So those are the big and the greater achievements we can say from this rally or from these briefings.
I'm speaking to Awol Windissa, current public relation of Oromo Community of Minnesota, USA, about the briefing by U.S. Congress tomorrow on 19 April 2016. Thank you, Awol.
Thank you, Ali.